Today, I'm sitting down with one of our newest team members, Alexis Crocker, who did something incredible. Closed their first deal, and it was a $1.2 million home. If you're thinking about getting into real estate or wondering what's possible as a new agent, this is the story you need. So let's dive in. So, Alexis, let's start from the top. What made you get into real estate?
I'm originally from New Hampshire and I moved down to Florida about 2 years ago, just looking for some better opportunity. I've always been interested in real estate, but I never really thought to get into it. I originally was just going to get my license for friends and family, and then I kind of fell in love with the process of it. And I've always had a passion for helping people. And what better way to help someone than find them their forever home?
Yeah, perfect. And you joined the team just 6 months ago, right?
hmm
What were the first few months like?
The first few months were just cold calling, constantly hearing the word no. Nobody wanted to meet you, constantly feeling like you had no idea what you were doing, lacking confidence, pretty much relearning everything that you learned in the real estate course and actually learning the process of everything. And very intimidating for sure, being around people, being in a room where everyone's better than you and you know everyone's better than you. However, that definitely drives success for sure. Um, but just pretty much relearning everything you thought you knew.
Yes. All right, let's talk about that $1.2 million deal. First deal, and it was a big one.
hmm
How did you find the client?
It was a Monday morning. I was just sitting down getting ready to prospect in the Money Time Pond when a new lead came through. I got a text from our digital assistant that this was a hot lead. So I got her on the phone. They were not ready to purchase for about 3 more months. They just started their search. They're actually from Michigan, so they were not down in Florida. Just talked to her about what exactly she was looking for and just kind of nurturing that lead. And when a few months passed by and they were ready to come down to Florida, just finding them a home.
Nice. What was going through your head when you realized
hmm
this was a serious buyer looking for $1 million home?
I was extremely intimidated. That's a higher price point than we're ever used to really dealing with. Um, so I was intimidated for sure. However, I didn't let that get in the way of it. I saw potential in this client and that she was actually serious and looking for a second home. So I just used it to my advantage and drove that success to get it to the close.
Very good.
Mm.
Well, be real with us. What was the toughest part of the transaction?
The toughest part of the transaction was the negotiation. When we wanted to negotiate, they didn't want to offer the asking price, which is obviously okay. It happens in negotiations all the time. However, we kind of came in a little bit low. So negotiating with that listing agent was very difficult. Trying to get the sellers down and the buyers up is the hardest thing to do. And with the terms as well, they had to go over certain HOA documents, things like that, that would get in the way of if they would proceed. So that was definitely the hardest. It was about a 2 day ordeal, and it was very stressful for sure.
Oh, yeah, you're very good. And what role did the team play in helping you through it?
The team played a huge role in this, just from asking other agents, other senior agents, their advice on certain things, and not really knowing the negotiation process, and having Delaney, our trainer, help me and coach me through this entire process.
Yeah, very cool. There are probably some brand new agents watching us right now.
Mhm.
What advice would you give them?
You're going to feel intimidated and lack confidence for sure. When you first start out, I felt the same way. And it's going to take a long time for you to end up getting that closing. And just don't lose faith in yourself. You're going to feel like you can't do it or you're not meant for this industry. I know I wanted to quit so many times when I felt like nothing was happening, but you just have to be patient.
Yeah, some solid advice.
Mhm.
So, what's next for you? More $1 million listings?
Let's hope so. That'd be great.
Yeah,
I have a few right now that are over a million that might want to transact soon. However, I'm not set on a price point either, so I'll work with any buyer.
yeah, totally. Well, we're real proud of you, Alexis.
Thank you.
Thanks for sharing your story. It's inspiring, and I know it's just the beginning.
Oh, thanks for having me, Ryan.
You're welcome. If you're a new agent or thinking about joining a real estate team, stories like this prove what's possible. Like, subscribe, and leave a comment below congratulating Alexis on selling her first home.